The Imitation of Christ, Book 1, Chapter 13, On Resisting Temptation. We will never be free of trials and temptations as long as our earthly life lasts. For Job has said, "Is not the life of human beings on earth a drudgery?" Job chapter 7, verse 1. Therefore, we should always be on our guard against temptations, always praying that our enemy, the devil, who never sleeps but constantly looks for someone to devour, will not catch us off guard. No one in this world is so perfect or holy as not to have temptations sometimes. We can never be entirely free of them. Sometimes these temptations can be very severe and troublesome, but if we resist them, they will be very useful to us, for by experiencing them, we are humbled, cleansed, and instructed. All the saints endured tribulations and temptations, and profited by them, while those who did not resist and overcome them fell away and were lost. There is no place so holy or so remote where you will not meet with temptation, nor is there anyone completely free from it in this life. For in our bodies we bear the wounds of sin, the weakness of our human nature in which we were born. As soon as one temptation or trial goes, another comes. We will always have something to suffer because we have lost our original state of happiness. Many try to fly away from temptations only to fall more deeply into them. For you cannot win a battle by mere flight. It is only by patience and humility that you will be strengthened against the enemy. Those who only shun them outwardly and do not pull them out by the roots will make no progress, for temptations will soon return to harass them, and they will be in a worse state. It is only gradually, with patience and endurance, and with God's grace, that you will overcome temptations sooner than by your own efforts and anxieties. When you are tempted, seek the advice of a wise counselor, and do not yourself be harsh with persons who are tempted. Rather be happy to console them, as you would wish to be consoled. The beginning of all evil temptations is inconstancy of mind and insufficient trust in God. Just as a ship without a rudder is tossed about with every storm, so those who are negligent and abandon their good resolutions are tempted in diverse ways. Gold is tried by fire, and the upright person by temptation. Often we do not know what we can do until temptation shows us what we are. In the early stages of temptation, it is necessary to be watchful, for it is easier to overcome the enemy if he is not allowed to enter into your mind, but is resisted and shut out as soon as he knocks. As someone had said, resist the beginning, the cure applied afterward is too late. This is how temptation is. First, we have a thought, followed by strong imaginings, then the pleasure and evil emotions, and finally consent. This is how the enemy gains full admittance, because he was not resisted at the outset. The slower we are to resist, the weaker we become daily, and the stronger the enemy is against us. Temptations differ with different people. Some are greatly tempted in the first stages of turning to God. Some have it in their later days, while still others have it all their lives. And there are also those who are only lightly tempted. But it is all part of God's plan for us, whose wisdom and justice knows each person's state and orders all things rightly for the salvation of his elect. We should not be discouraged when tempted, but turn in fervent prayer to God, who in his infinite goodness and compassion will help us in all our needs. St. Paul has said that, together with the trial, he will also provide a way out and the strength to bear it. The first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 13. Let us humbly submit ourselves to God in all trials and temptations, for it is the humble and the submissive that he will save and exalt. Psalm 34, verse 19. Through temptations and trials, our spiritual progress is tested. If we are fervent and devout and unaware of any difficulties, it is no credit to us. But if we endure patiently in the time of temptation or adversity, then our spiritual advancement is apparent. Some people are kept from grave temptations, and yet every day they fall into the same petty faults. God in his merciful goodness permits this to keep them humble, so that they will not trust in themselves, seeing how easily they are daily overcome.